Two great guests this morning, the Athletics football correspondent David Ornstein and broadcaster and podcaster from Stoppage Time and Versus Mayowa Quadri. Good morning to both of you. We're going to start with Manchester United and talk about Jesse Lingard. Yesterday, in the news conference ahead of tonight's FA Cup fourth round tie against Middlesbrough, Ralf Rangnick spoke about Lingard's disappointment at not getting a move away from the club and went on to say, Jesse asked me and the club if we could give him a couple of days off just to clear his mind. But last night, Lingard responded with a tweet saying the club advised me to have some time off due to personal reasons, but my headspace is clear. I'll always be professional when called upon and give 100%. Right, David, are you surprised to see Lingard's response? So he did it so publicly.
Morning, Tom. Morning, guys. No, I'm not surprised to see him respond like that because the initial shot, if you want to call it that, was fired by Ralf Rangnick publicly. So Jesse Lingard's perfectly entitled to stand up for himself. And if he feels the situation needs to be clarified, he's going to do so. What I do think is that this is an absolute mess. After the Anthony Martial public comments, we now have another senior Manchester United first-team player and international seemingly at loggerheads with his club, in particular the manager. But I'm not sure the manager is sort of the key target here. I think it's those above him because really he's just delivering the message. He's the interim manager. He's going to be moving on from the role in the summer. And he was not the one who blocked Jesse Lingard's proposed loan move before the transfer deadline. That was the hierarchy at Old Trafford that decided for one reason or another that Jesse Lingard couldn't go. Lingard, of course, initially planned to stay in January, but then changed his mind, and it seemed he was set for a move, and certainly in his head. We can argue about that all day long, but this very public disagreement is not healthy for anybody at United. It really should be sorted out behind the scenes. And if there is some issue about personal reasons or mental health, it should be going on in the background and being sorted out. Jesse Lingard will, for all intents and purposes, now be leaving as a free agent in the summer. He wanted to go in January. It probably should have been sorted out then, and perhaps Manchester United are now seeing the repercussions, and it's pretty ugly.
Maya, well, this would have never happened in the old days, would it? Players would have never dared to speak out.
It's a funny one because when you look at Lingard and what he represents, this is someone who's been at the club from a young age and he loves this football club. And another thing you can't write off about him is he's a model professional. We saw what happened when he went on his loan move to West Ham. He delivered, he was ready, he was fit. No one expected that. So to hear things about you not being ready and needing to take time off, it's probably, rattled him a little bit, and he knows his situation. He knows that he is prepared to do what he needs to do for this team, and he's shown it this season when he's been called upon. So I think the comments definitely did get underneath his skin, especially knowing the fact that he has kind of been held hostage in this situation. The club don't want to let him go. At the same time, he wants to play or move away to play. So I understand why he's come out, and I think it's incredibly brave and good for him to speak his mind, because ultimately, if you're not happy with the situation, you need to address it. So it wouldn't have happened before, but I respect it personally.
David, Rangnick was asked in the press conference after he made those comments about Lingard whether or not he might be a little bit disruptive and how he was going to manage him over the next few months. He didn't think there'd be a problem. Clearly, there are a few. If we've seen that tweet, haven't we? How do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I don't hear anything at Manchester United about Jesse Lingard being a problematic figure. To the contrary, he seems actually a pretty shy boy, very hardworking in training, and he tends to deliver in the matches when he plays. Not so many opportunities for Manchester United this year, but certainly when he was at West Ham in the second half of last season, he was one of the most impressive attackers in the entire division. And if he gets the opportunity again, as he said in his tweet, I'm sure he'll give 100%. It's just whether he will get that opportunity. And with Donny van der Beek leaving on loan, Anthony Martial heading out as well, and the issues around Mason Greenwood, there's a very good chance that he will get game time. A lot of people who have criticised him off the back of Ralf Rangnick's comments have said he should have been available. He would have got the chance tonight against Middlesbrough, but we don't know exactly what has gone on behind the scenes. Now, if he is indeed going to stay until the summer and they're not going to come to some sort of termination, then it would suit all parties to reintegrate him, build the bridges, repair some of the damage and get him back in, because he would appear to me to be a really valuable asset to Manchester United. I feel he should have gone to the Euros with England last summer. He's got a unique skill set that I think Manchester United could do with. So I don't think this needs to be as acrimonious as it has been so far. And it's really up to Manchester United to step up to the plate, meet with Lingard, and Lingard to discuss it with them and hopefully come to an amicable solution.
Yeah, that brings on to Paul Pogba, actually, Mayowa, because he's fit and he could play tonight in the FA Cup. We know the situation about his future and his contract, but he says he wants to go out and prove how good he is. How do you see this playing out?
Very similar to what David said. I think in a situation where it's been said about what the player wants to do, but these guys just want to play football. Paul Pogba is an amazing footballer, and Manchester United lead that lift. We've seen what happens when Paul Pogba's on form for Manchester United. They tend to fly. So him coming back into the squad for an important game will be a really big lift for them. And I think it's just a breath of fresh air as well. We know the team has been tired, but there's been a lot of changes. Having this sort of unique player come back and deliver could be so pivotal for them. And what they want to achieve for the rest of the season, top 4 is still a race. They can still do that and they can still achieve cup success. And with Paul Pogba on the side, all of that is definitely possible.